Hey, Shalom Akim, giving all praises, honor, and glorification to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Akadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, this is going to be a quick lesson focused on how Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai has let these devils, these Edomites, which are the so-called white people, accumulate their tab. Okay, in the sense that he has let them pile up their sins before he brings the judgment. Okay, unlike the nation of Israel, whereas Yahweh Shai punishes us speedily. All right, we then start off in the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book. All right, this is speaking of right, the book of life, the Bible. Okay, that they be not discouraged for these calamities. All right, because when John read the book, when he was told to to eat the book, it said that it was sweet in his mouth, but it was bitter. See, it's actually in the book of Apocalypse, or Revelation. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 10 and verse 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. Right, and the book is once again speaking of the Bible, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. Because what did Ezekiel say? All right, when he was told to eat of the book. All right, this is in the book of I think it's in the second chapter, Ezekiel chapter 2, and Ezekiel 2 and 8. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house, nation of Israel. Open thy mouth and eat that I gave thee. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. All right. So, hey, the scriptures is filled with sweet, but it's also filled with bitter. All right. So, but when you eat it up, you got to eat the sweet and the bitter. Okay. Eat the whole truth. All right. We know that our power is a power of balance. The Lord says that a false balance is an abomination unto the Lord. Okay. All right. So um, the prophet wrote. It says, now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for our destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. Okay, because the Heavenly Father has chosen one people, which is the nation of Israel. Okay, whom He calls also His firstborn. Okay, that's in the book of Sarah. Yeah. This is Sirach 17 and 17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion. Whom being his firstborn, he nourished with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, does not forsake him. Okay? Therefore, all right, let's look up the word discipline. Okay? Discipline. In the Google definition, says the practice of training people to obey rules. What rules? The laws. Okay? All right, because the Bible is also called the book of the law. Okay? The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Okay? So that's how you discipline a child. Okay, you use punishment in order for them to walk that straight line. Okay, all right, walk in the way that you would have him to go. Okay, this is let's go in the book of the book of well, actually, we'll stay in the book of Sirach, but on the 30th chapter, it reads here. It reads, "He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end." Right? And we just read that we are the firstborn. The nation of Israel is the firstborn of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, his son. Okay, his sons and daughters. Okay, it said, "He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod." Right? Punishments. Okay, discipline, that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chastises his son, he that chastises his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. Okay, and that's what the Lord is doing. Okay, by punishing our disobedience. Okay, back to Sirach 17. Uh, says, "Whom being his firstborn he nourisheth with discipline," right? So being nurtured by wisdom. Okay, this word, right? She disciplines us. Okay, and giving him the light of his love does not forsake him, right? So if we were bastards, hey, the Lord, um, if we're not the sons of the Lord will not punish us, man. We will be considered bastards. Okay, and that's the case for Esau Edom. Okay, hence this lesson, Yahweh Shai is letting him accumulate his sins for to bring final judgment. It says, "Therefore all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways. None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before the Lord. But the Lord, being gracious and knowing his workmanship, neither left nor forsook them, but spared them." Okay, all right, and that's the privilege that the nation of Israel has received. Okay, now back to Second Maccabees, the 6th chapter. Okay, and the 13th verse. Read 12 again. "Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for chastening of our nation. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished." Okay, right away the Lord punishes, you know, our rebellion. Okay, our disobedience. Okay, "For not as with other nations," verse 14, "for not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us." Okay, what is that? That's a separation right there. Okay, that's a distinguishment. Okay, the Lord doesn't chastise or deal with the other nation as he deals with us. Okay, as he chastises us. Okay, as he punishes us, as he disciplines us. Verse 14, I'll read that again. "For not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish," right? He lets them accumulate their sins till they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. Lest that being come to the height of sin, afterwards he should take vengeance of us. Okay? So, the Lord is letting Esau, all right, the so-called white men, and these other nations accumulate their sins to the height of their sins. Okay? And we're approaching that time. All right? It says, verse 16, "And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us, and though he punish with adversity, yet doeth he never forsake his people." Okay? Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 18, and verse 4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Well, the Lord is telling the nation of Israel to come out of her, right? Spiritually, but also this is actually speaking of the Lord calling his people out of Babylon, and whether out of Babylon, okay, to be beamed up by those by the vehicles of the angels, right? The chariots, okay, the clouds, okay. That's how this great deliverance is gonna happen. The Lord is gonna actually beam up the elect into his chariot, okay. Verse 5, for her sins, right, the sins of Babylon, okay, who rules in Babylon, the Edomites, okay, the so-called white people, says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Okay? The Lord is going to recompense double for what they have done. Okay? Okay? Alright? But the Lord has let her accumulate her sins before he brings the hammer down. Alright? That severe judgment. Let's go to the book of Proverbs 16 and verse 4. It reads, the Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. All right, the Lord, the Lord is has reserved these devils for that final judgment. All right, let's go to Romans chapter 9. It reads, start verse 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay? Who will be the clay? Man, who's the potter? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Right? The vessel of honor will be the elect of the nation of Israel, okay? And then the vessel of dishonor will be the nation of Esau, Edom, okay? What if the Most High, verse 22, what if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory unto the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory, okay? And so the Lord deals with long suffering. Okay. All right. All right. So he endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. Okay, which is these Edomites. All right. Let's go to the book of Job. Chapter 21 and verse 30. It reads, verse 29, have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do ye not know their tokens, that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction? They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Okay? All right? The Lord has reserved them to the day of judgment, man. Okay? And they're going to be brought forth to the day of wrath, man. For the day of wrath. All right? So the Lord is actually is manipulating the wicked man. Okay, he controls the minds of the kings. Okay, he controls the minds of everyone, man. Okay, the eyes of the Lord upon everyone, which are the angels, and they control and they manipulate and they assist whomsoever the Lord wants to assist. Man, the scriptures tell you that the deceiver and the deceived and the deceiver are His. Okay, this is Sirach 12 and verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Okay? Alright? And another thing about Esau Edom, okay, he pretends like he's for the Most High. So he plays the hypocrite, and the Lord hates hypocrisy, man. Okay? The Lord hates hypocrisy, man. Okay, you got Esau Edom, as it is written in the book of Psalms, that he pretends to declare the statute of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, he thought that the Lord was with him. Okay, look at that real quick. Psalms 50. Okay, Psalm 50 and start at verse 16. But unto the wicked, who's the wicked? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, pursuant to the book of Malachi, the first chapter. Okay, they are the border of wickedness. But unto the wicked, Yahweh Bashim Shai said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, right? So Esau comes with certain laws and pretends that he sets up those laws, or or that the well, you have, when you go to the court, they also uphold the Bible. They pretend to uphold the Bible. They make people swear in onto the Bible. Okay, all right. And that's the form of him saying that that's a form of him pretending to declare the Lord's statutes. Okay, but but uh but he doesn't respect the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, he promotes men sleeping with men. Okay, he promotes adultery. Okay, well, he doesn't punish adultery. Okay, he doesn't punish bestiality. Okay, that's being promoted in certain parts of the world, man. Okay, all right. Verse 17: Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentedest with him and hast been partaken with adultery. Man. Right. So so he venerates, he reveres thieves and robbers, and rapists, such as Christopher Columbus, Andrew Jackson, okay, these different presidents that came into power, they're all thieves and robbers, man, okay, and liars, okay, and hypocrites. Thou, verse 19, thou givest thy mouth to evil and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence, right? The Lord kept his silence, man, okay? The Lord is long suffering. Though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. When? In the last days. Okay, so the Lord has waited for the last days to raise up his prophets, okay, his apostles, all right, his servants, okay, all right. As Paul says that the Lord has set up the apostles last, okay, all right, in order to consume Esau with the spirit of his mouth, okay. All right, let's finish up in the book of this is Joel 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this old since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. I also, which saw him, shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Right? So the Lord had them in a high position for a short time, but then eventually he's going to take them down. Man. Okay. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hand shall restore their goods. Okay. This is verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Right. While he's at the height of his wicked plans, okay, ultimately to have everybody, uh, you know, put in that charisma, is going to be in difficulty, man. Okay, every hand of the wicked, which the word wicked means the laborer, okay, all right, the workmen, okay, which are the Israelites, shall come upon him. But not only the Israelites are going to come upon him, but also his own people. It's not all Edomites are with that NWO, okay, all right. The scriptures talk about um, they shall not regard the prince or their kings or princes. Okay, so there's going to be complete chaos in the streets, man. Okay, there's going to be great resistance. All right, and that's all created by Yahweh Shem Shai. Verse 23: When he is about to fill his belly, what's that? That's him coming to the fruition of his um, of having everybody under his control via the MOTB. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Shem Shai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Okay, so the Lord uses that element of surprise, man. Okay, the Lord, the Lord is going to surprise this devil while he's at the height of his plans, man. When he's almost when he when he feels like he has almost completed his uh his plan, man. Okay, right? Trying to fulfill the Revelation 13 and 15, man. It says he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay? Right? But the Lord, what does it say, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So while he's eating, a nuclear missile is going to be rained upon him. Okay? That's how the Lord's going to destroy Babylon. Okay? And take down the empire of the Edomites by way of the fire. Okay? Alright, so just wanted to touch on that. How Yahweh Shai lets them build their tabs, lets them accumulate their sins, and then takes them down. Okay? Right? Okay, so I want to give all praises, honor, and glorification to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Hakadosh. That belongs to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect.